Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Blitz. Just a quick note before we start today's video, I've not uploaded to the channel in a while. I think I've explained this on social media and the YouTube community section. I've just been off medication for a while. I've been trying to get new medication sorted to help with my mental health. Recording videos, streaming has been very difficult, so I'm sorry for the lack of content in the last couple of weeks, but we're here. Very special occasion. Blitz is now out in early access. You may remember we played the demo of this game in the Steam Next Fest, and I think we also played another demo of it later on stream, where we got to try out the Tusk Tales mode. This is a new deck building RPG slash roguelite. I wouldn't really call it a roguelike. It's not like a Slay the Spire kind of experience. It's much more of an RPG sort of story mode slash minigame sort of focused deck builder, but it's really cool. Really beautiful pixel art, really beautiful soundtrack, and I'm super excited to be playing the early access now. Just a quick disclaimer that not all of the content is in the game currently. Obviously, with it being in early access, we've got an entire game mode here, which I'm guessing is going to be the PvP mode. Tusk Tales is fine. There's a couple missing sections of the Fablers mode. But we're going to jump in today. We're just going to play through the game. I'm going to try the two campaigns that we have available, and we're just going to have a good time. So we're going to start with Redcroft's campaign, a mighty pirate who sails the neighbouring seas in search of adventure and treasure. We played a bit of this on stream when it came out, but I have wiped my save data, and we're just going to go through and try and complete everything we can in the game. I'm hoping this will be like a long-running series on my channel. I want to cover everything the game has to offer, and I want to keep up to date. Like, when the game's updated, I want to make new videos showing new content. We're going to have a good time together. This is going to be what we do now for the foreseeable future. So I hope you all enjoy, and don't forget, if you do like the video, leave a like, potentially comment, and if you really like what we do here, subscribe. Anyway, enough lollygagging, let's get into it. Redcroft, the renowned mighty pirate, has been imprisoned. Wrongfully accused of raiding a scaleskin supply ship whilst exploring the western seas. The merciless Princess Angana has confined him and his crew to a desert prison on the outskirts of Scale Half. With no hope of escape, Redcroft and his fellow caged pirates fall into despair. That is, until a royal envoy arrives at the prison on one particularly hot desert day with a tempting proposition. If Redcroft can procure a long-lost relic from an island situated deep in the southern seas, Princess Angana will pardon them of their crimes, restoring their stolen freedom. However, no seafarer has ever returned from this mysterious island alive. What dangers await our notorious red-bearded pirate on the dreaded Isle of Dragon's Belly? And off we go. This is the world map. We explore this in between chapters. Make our way to Swindler's Wharf. Finally out of that hellhole of a prison. Hold on. Gotta get my pirate voice going. So, we're to be errand boys for the princess, eh? That's not a pirate voice. I'm gonna stop. Fine by me. Anything to win our freedom back. But as soon as I get to Swindler's Wharf, I'm downing a mug of grog. Yarr, me hearties. This is a pirate voice. I couldn't quite get it, but we got it now. Greetings, Mawson here. Grand adventure awaits, so let me show you the metaphorical ropes. These are your health points, or HP for short. After every battle, your HP will be fully restored. This is your equipped deck. Press the view deck button to take a peek. You can swap to a different deck or edit your current deck from here too. This is the hex map. You'll be exploring Crosstone Island by navigating maps like these. And this is you. How cute. You must get tired marching in place, yes? These are nodes. There are many different types. Walk to different nodes on the hex map by selecting them. But keep in mind, you can only travel between nodes that have visible pathways connecting them. No path, no access. By visiting event nodes or claiming victory on battle nodes, new pathways will open. Seems there's an available node right here. What luck? Select it and then press the big green action button at the bottom right to interact with it. Easy. Before we go to the first event here, I do want to go into the deck and just show you guys what we got. In case you're wondering how the game works, we have these creature cards and we have spell cards. Creature cards are things that go into the battlefield, and spell cards are things that do outside of the battlefield. We start with a pretty simple deck here, with some base pirate synergy. We've got Rigbeak and Admiral Brass. We'll go into more detail at what those do later. And later on, we'll be able to edit our own decks, make decks from recipes, and build our own decks from cards we've collected. We have our funds up here, and we have the settings and stuff. Let's just go to the first event here, Homecoming. Redcroft and his crew arrive at the pirate haven of Swindler's Wharf after a perilous journey across the western desert. Unfortunately, there's little time to unwind with Abraxas, Princess Angana's loyal advisor, watching their every move. Ahoy! Home sweet home! Think I'm done with desert sightseeing for a long, long time. Aye, Captain. The salty breeze bolsters the soul. Right you are, Brass. I should really stop doing the voice. I don't think it's adding anything. Whack! Grog and gambling aplenty. You pirates are filthy. You call this decrepit shanty town a home? I've seen sewers cozier than this foul cesspool. You're always this much of a drag, Braxy. Lighten up. You are to address me as a Braxus pirate. By decree of Her Royal Majesty, Princess Angana, I am owed the utmost respect. Or have you already forgotten the compliance curse that was placed upon you and your ragtag companions? One step out of line and your lives will be forfeit. I'll see to it personally. Easy there, was just poking a bit of fun, Abraxas. We don't have time for fun, we must reach Dragon's Belly with great haste. And how do you suppose we'll be getting to that forsaken island without a ship? Last I heard, your scale half-buddies sold mine off right after locking us up. Princess insisted we sell your vessel as collateral for the supply ship you raided. If you wish to place blame, then I'd suggest placing it upon yourself for choosing the life of a vagabond. Believe what you will, but we'll still be needing a ship if we're going to finish off this fool's errand. Admiral Brass. Yes, Captain. Any idea where we can get our hands on a seaworthy vessel? That'd be a tough one, Captain. A lot's changed since our time behind bars. Let's ask around town. One of the local cutthroats is sure to know where we can find a ship or two. Whack, talk to the local riffraff. Ah, fine plan. Let's go, boys. I'll say, Rigbeak, love him. One of my favourite characters in this game. We get our first combat here. Battle against Lou the Ape. On the left side, you can see the materials that can drop from the fight. On the right side, you can see the HP and any relics they're bringing to fight. Right now, that's not applicable, though. We're just going to jump in here. Friendly inquiry. Oi, you there. What do you want, Big Beard? Me and my friends here. We're looking for a ship. Any idea where we can find one? You think you have the sea legs to man a ship? You're making me laugh. I don't take too kindly to chumps laughing at me. Why don't we settle this like real pirates? Fine by me, I'll mop the deck with ya. Alright, battle commence. We're getting into our first battle here, and I'll explain how everything works, but I also think Mawson here is going to do a great job of explaining everything too. Because we go first, our opponent gets a Hex Crystal, which is essentially like an extra mana that they can use on the turn they start, or they can save it for future turns. Grog, Cutlass Swine, Admiral Brass. This is actually not a bad starting hand. I think I'm going to keep this one. We have a turn 1 play, something to do on turn 3, and we can always draw out of this and our next turn, something to do on turn 2. Pretty good. Ready to battle? No? Well, too bad. Don't cry, I'll teach you the rules. These are your health points. If this hits 0, you lose. And that isn't good. This is your opponent's HP. To win the battle, deplete this to 0. The opposite of losing. Victory! This is your mana. You need mana to play cards. You gain 1 extra mana each turn, increasing up to a maximum of 10. Just to elaborate here, we start on 1 mana, and every turn after that we have 1 more mana, so it's essentially like playing your lands in Magic the Gathering. You slowly ramp up your mana to cast bigger and bigger spells. Oh, and it replenishes each turn too. Wonderful, yes. Check the number displayed at the top centre of your cards to see its mana cost. Very important. Cards contain important information. Pay attention. Top left number is the card's power and how much damage it does when it attacks. Top right number is the card's health points. Cards have HP, just like you. There are also spell cards, and those don't have a power or HP, only a mana cost. This is your current hand. Drag cards onto the board to play them. You can only play minion cards on the blue tiles, that's your side of the field. When you're done playing cards or out of mana, press the big button. Your turn will end and you'll enter the combat phase. Alright, there's a couple notes I want to make here as well. When I played the game at its very first demo, I vividly remember there being, like, symbols on these, and there used to be, like, a melee row and a ranged row, and only ranged units could attack here, and only melee units could attack here. I don't know if I'm thinking of a different game, but this is something that I just seem to vividly remember about the demos, and I might be wrong. If there's another game which plays similarly to this and has that feature, I'd love to know. Maybe I'm thinking of Inscription, I don't know, the games are very similar. Regardless, we can play our card here for 1 mana, Grog. Gain 2 armor and draw a card, pretty decent. Armor works like block in Slay the Spire. If we take damage and we have armor, the damage will be dealt to the armor instead. And I think that's everything we can do, so we're going to pass our turn here to the opponent. We have no units to fight, so combat phase does nothing. Up here you can see the accolades for the fight. Also we get to see an overview of all the cards played by the opponent. You'll notice, just like in Magic the Gathering, when you play the unit, they enter tired, so they can't attack straight away. You have to wait a turn for that. I just want to make a note here on the accolades. Accolades are like mini achievements you can do by defeating the battle, essentially. Every accolade you do gives you extra money at the end of the fight, and they're sort of like achievements that you can work on throughout the game. We're trying to get every one of these in every fight. If we miss a couple here and there, it's okay. I'm not going to dwell on them too much, but we are going to try and do a somewhat complete playthrough on this one. We don't have any cards we can play, we only have 2 mana, so we're just going to pass the turn here. Blitz. His units are off cooldown now, so they can attack. We're going to be taking 2 damage here, it looks like. But luckily, we have that 2 block. There's a lot of units, we're going to have to do something here. But I think we can just win next turn, and I'll explain how. Because this guy's really low HP, 5, all we need to do here... Actually, no, these have 2 power. I'm thinking of thinking of something completely different. What I was thinking we'd have to do is just play a Cutlass Swine to deal the 4 damage here. But instead, what I think we're going to do is play an Admiral Brass to block 2 of these guys. Kill 3 or more enemy minions. We're also going to go for their quest. So what we can do is we can play Admiral... Oh, we don't have enough mana. So we'll play Rigbeak. So because this is 2 HP and 2 damage... Each one of these is going to hit this unit. This unit has flying, so it would go over these minions and not hit them. But when a minion without flying tries to hit me, they have to go through my units first. So this one would hit and take 2 damage, and this would take 1 damage because of its power. And then this one afterwards would try and hit it. This will kill both of them. Playing Rigbeak made all of our pirates cost less. And I think that's everything we can do. We're going to be taking 2 damage here, but there's not very much we can do about that. And we're not going to die from it, so we should be okay. So we do trade the Rigbeak here, but we do get 2 Cutlass Swines, which we can use to complete the quests here too. He is playing so many pirate recruits. That's kind of all this guy does. I don't think this guy has any other cards in his deck. So that's 1 unit. You'll see that as we do this, the bar fills up. We need to get that all the way full. Alright. I'm thinking... We just play the Admiral Brass, and then we can just win next turn, I think. We're getting... Oh, what? Hold on. I keep getting my mana mixed up. It's been a while. Admiral Brass has Tough, which means he takes 1 less damage from all sources, meaning that these guys won't deal any damage to him, because they only deal 1. And in order to deal 1 damage to this guy, you actually have to deal 2. Alright, we've completed the side quest. Admiral Brass has a Lightning Bolt next to him, which means he has a triggered ability. His triggered ability says, after we play a pirate minion, give it +1 power and rush. Rush is, it can attack the turn it's summoned, so it doesn't have this sort of summoning sick effect. The +1 power also will take this Dual Striker to 3. Dual Strike meaning that they attack twice, meaning that if we play this here, and there's an open lane, and they only have 5 HP, you know what that means, we're going to just win. And that concludes the first fight of the game. Pretty easy stuff, we took a little bit of damage, but... We had to do what we had to do to complete the quest. Win or lose, you'll receive an overview of your previous battle. If you win, you'll receive experience points, or XP for short. Earn enough XP and you'll gain a level. Amazing. You can visit the level up grid to power up your hero. Accolades are listed here. Simply put, the challenges pertaining to the battle you just finished. Each completed accolade will earn you some Dawn Dollars, the money often used for trade here on the Crossdawn Isle. So if you'd like to purchase lots of cool new stuff, and I'd recommend completing as many of these as possible, or don't, or stay financially strapped. So yeah, as long as we're staying on top of the accolades, we won't have any money worries throughout the game, I don't think. Check the loot section to see what goodies you've acquired. Your total Dawn Dollars earned from completed accolades will be displayed along with any card recipes you found. These recipes let you meld new cards at the Mole's Forge. Mana shards and ingredients are the resources required for melding these new cards. The more you have, the better. Lastly, these arrows flip the page. Detailed information about the battle is catalogued here. Browse it at your leisure. I know I won't. Okay, so yeah, we unlocked a new crafting recipe. We can make these using certain ingredients that a NPC we're yet to meet. The most important of these ingredients is mana shards. Every single card in the game takes mana shards to make. The other ingredients here are just miscellaneous things that the card might want. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to the level up grid because we have gained a level. You seek to bolster your strength, yes? The level grid is the place to do so, trust me. Each time you gain a level, you'll be rewarded with a level point, or LVP for short. By selecting level nodes along a level path, you can spend these points granting you new cards or boosts to your maximum HP. There are 4 paths to pick from, but you must move along the designated path when making a selection, unlocking each node in sequence for each column. Oh, and each column is aligned to a deck archetype, or in simpler terms, a playstyle. It's up to you how you spend your level points, mix and match, or go all in on a single archetype. If you're upset with how you spent your points, don't cry, for you can reset the level grid and all of your previously spent level points will be returned to you. Simply press this button to do so. But keep in mind any cards obtained from the level grid will be removed from all of your decks. So yeah, the level up grid has 4 main archetypes on here, and as we go up the level up grid, like you said, we can get max HP, we can get different cards, and you can hover over all of these to see what they all do. You can sort of like customize your playthrough in this way just by making every playthrough a little bit unique by choosing a different archetype. What I'm going to do for my first playthrough here, and eventually you will level up all of these to full, you shouldn't worry about it too much because you will eventually get all of them. We're going to go for the Cannon Barrage because I think it's the best archetype to get started here, and a lot of quests in the early game pertain to firing cannons. So we're going to do this one. You saw cannon in our hand, I think in the battle we just finished, but we never actually got to use it. This unit is going to help us, Cannoneer. Combat start, fire a friendly cannon, it can target the enemy hero. I'll explain more about cannons later, but for now we're just going to get that. We could go for bombs. Bombs are pretty interesting, but I think we're just going to go for the max HP instead. And that'll do. Alright. We're all done here, let's go. I'm sorry if I'm explaining a lot, but with us just getting started, I think it's helpful to everybody to try and give as much information as possible. Ooh. Shiver me barrels. A not so friendly inquiry. I love how these change after the battles too. It's so funny. You're a lot stronger than I thought. I'll teach you to laugh at the mighty Redcroft. What? You're the mighty Redcroft? They said you drowned out in the western seas. Do I look drowned to you? Now back to business. Where can we find ourselves a ship? Out with it. Wish I knew. Ships have been harder and harder to come by these days. Those blasted sea spout sentries rounding up so many pirates and the like. But if your heart's set on sailing again, try asking some of the other folk further into town. I'll warn you though, most of these scallywags ain't keen on handing out information to strangers. The thing a bit of roughing up can't solve. You truly are a simple-minded brute. We love Abraxas, he's just a dick. See this mini-map? It's quite useful. Each square represents a different section of the hex map. The flashing marker is your current location. You move between different sections of the passage with the passage nodes, you'll find them on the hex map. Some areas may seem impossible to reach, but do not fret. Sorry about that, my partner came in. Right, where were we? Do not fret. By exploring and interacting with nodes, the path you seek may make itself available to you. Oh, and you can expand the minimap for a better view too. Cool. They have a chest over here, let's open it. I believe this contains some crafting recipes. Yeah, so I think the purple chests always contain crafting recipes, and the green chests always contain relics? I'm not sure. We'll update ourselves on that. Anyway, let's edit our deck, because we've got some new cards. Editing a deck is easy, take my word for it. Click on cards from your collection to add it to the deck, you can drag them too. Click and drag cards from the card list on the right to remove them. The number down here indicates how many cards are currently in this deck. This is important as a playable deck must contain 30 cards, no more, no less. Another like sort of thing that I remember from the demos is that we used to be able to go over 30. I also think that's incorrect, but I've got mixed memories about the demos I've played of this game. It feels like they feel so different to the finished product for some reason. As you may have noticed, multiple copies of the same card can be in the same deck. But this number is dependent on the card's rarity. Again, sorry about that, we're back. Rarity. Check the card list and look at this number down here again to see how many of each card can be added. So yeah, basically what he's saying here is that the rarer the card, the stronger it is, the less copies we can have. So here you can see that we can only have 2 copies of a Beckett Brass, but we can have up to 8 copies of a Pirate Recruit. It's pretty interesting to play around with these numbers and try and get the most consistent deck possible. We are going to lean into the cannon synergy. Cannon is an inanimate thing, which means it doesn't attack. But whenever we summon a pirate minion, we deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So we're going to want to add in these cannoneers, because they're going to fire the cannons without us having to play pirates, but they can also hit the enemy, which means the 2 damage can be dealt directly to their HP. I think what we can take out here is Fritzbot. I'm not the biggest fan of Fritzbot, because it doesn't really have any synergy with anything in the deck. I don't actually know why it's here. You can basically read this like 2 mana 2/2. Played to deal 2 damage myself. You might look at that and think that it deals 2 damage to you, but actually what it does is it deals 2 damage to the card, so it's weird. It's a 2/2. I don't know why it's worded like it, but I think when you go down the tough tree, you can do some stuff with it. Anyway, we'll add 4 copies of the Cannoneer. Spin Blade is really useful early in the game because it just destroys everything. It does 1 damage to everything, even your stuff. But a lot of the early game is just a lot of 1/1s that you want to destroy all at the same time. When you're doing cannons, you don't really need armor. But I tell you what, we'll take out 1 of each of these, put in 2 more of these, and I think that's okay for now. We'll take out 2 of these to put in another 2. We'll curve out pretty okay here. Rigbeak helps reduce the cost of these, and 2 isn't that bad to pay. So I think we're good. We'll finish up here. Ah, the cards menu. Let me explain the intricacies of this very important place. This is your currently equipped deck. Whatever deck you've equipped is the same deck you'll be using in battle. Here's the card list. It shows all of the cards in your currently selected deck. Right click the card header at the top. You can even rename your card deck. Click the edit button to edit it. And to make a new deck, press the button. And this allows us to change between strategies pretty quickly. Another note on the create deck button here is that we've got a bunch of different like pre-constructed decks, but in order to build these we need to collect the cards needed for them. We can just create custom decks as well, but that's probably what we're going to be doing most of the time, but these are here in case you wanted to play with balanced pre-constructed decks. He's telling us about deck recipes, which are essentially just these things. They're just suggestions really, they're not really hard and fast rules. But it is nice to have this option here for players who maybe aren't fully versed on like the art of deck building. Right. Like to create a new deck from scratch, make a custom deck button. Yeah, we know all this, Mawson. Thank you very much. But yeah, just thought I'd make a note of that. If you're not good at deck building, this game is still accessible to you. Anyway, let's leave. We have another fight here against Sid the Squid. After I finish this fight, this is probably where I'll wrap up the episode for today. I want to keep these to about 30 minutes each. I think it just makes it more watchable for everybody. When we start playing the roguelite mode, though, they may get longer, because obviously I'll be playing the roguelite mode and I'll have to go through entire runs. We don't need 2 saw blades, so we're going to bin 1 of these. Very happy with that. We've got a 1, 2, 3 here, and we're going first. I'm not going to use this because it's a waste, we're just going to blitz. Again, the music in this game is so good, I'm going to turn it up for a second for you all. It's just so good, man. It is so good. Oh yeah, here's another thing. If you're wondering what that little symbol is, that is just you can click to put your cards here out of the way of your battlefield. Don't think that's ever necessary, but it is here. He's got 2 units. We're going to use this saw blade. What we're going to do is we're going to play the cannon before we play this, because this is a pirate and it will trigger the cannon and it will also trigger the cannon again. I'd rather just wipe the board here too. These have a really annoying death trigger. A death trigger happens when the unit dies, and those ones give something else +1/+1. So it's good to get rid of them all in one go so they don't start buffing each other. Alright, pirate recruit. And another pirate recruit. Okay, we're going to play a cannon here. I'm going to play the cannon here so we can block 1 of the damage, because they have really high HP. And it's a toss-up next turn. I think next turn we can even play Rigbeak and the Cannoneer, so we're just going to do this. We've got a really good turn lined up next turn. Defeat the enemy, play 3 pirates. What was this again? Get out of my way, get out of my hair. Take less than 14 damage. Oh, that's so easy, man. That's so easy. Alright, so we're going to play Rigbeak, then Cannoneer. I think that's allowed. Let's do it. Fire the cannon! And again. Fire the cannon! And it's going to fire again on combat. Hopefully hitting that last one. Excellent. Amazing. I think that when the cannon has the option of hitting the player, I think it will always opt to hit a unit instead of it. So essentially, cannons prioritize, when targeting a hero, they prioritize targeting the units first. What are we going to do here? I think we're going to play this in Rigbeak. So now we can fire 2 cannons. Kaboom. We've completed the quest, and we just fire the cannons on combat, and I think we deal almost enough. As you can see, the cannons are really good at controlling the board state. There's another pirate recruit, skull recruit even. And a beach bones, trigger a death on played. So this is going to take this death trigger, activate it immediately, give him +1/+1. But I think we've got lethal here, yeah, because these flyers just go over guaranteed. Go play the cannoneer again. And this should just finish the fight. Ah, yeah, easy. Easiest fight ever. If you're not careful though, those death triggers can be really annoying. Really annoying. Didn't quite get enough there to level up, but we got every quest finished, and we unlocked the rest before Whipgrin. So, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, this card is like a homage to a card called Ogre Battle Driver. I'm 90% sure that's what it's a homage to. Ogre Battle Driver used to deal damage to creatures and give them like extra power. This does the exact same thing, so I think that's just like a direct reference. Being a massive... I love Magic the Gathering, by the way. I'm a massive Magic the Gathering nerd, so I'm going to pick up on every single reference. I love it. Squid Flax. Did we even read this guy's, like, opening cinematic? Or is this the only one we've had? Looks like your fancy slacks were no match for the mighty Redcroft, Squidface. At Peddler. Tricked me into buying these patches and pantaloons. Silence. Tell us where we can find a ship now. You think I'd know? Been beached ever since my last captain was blown to bits by that scurvy dog coxswain. It's a ship you'd be looking for. Go talk to one of those big-headed info brokers. Those two-faced crooks know everything going on in Swindler's Wharf. An info broker, eh? Alright. Looking to size up your foe. Right-click a battle node to view important details about the opponent, study your foe, and strategize accordingly. So yeah, that's just letting you know, if you right-click, you can see further details about the accolades, what they drop, how much HP they've got, and any relics, this is the first relic we've seen. We won't go into it right now, but it's important to note. One more thing before we wrap up today's episode, I'm just going to go to the card shop, because there's a pretty funny interaction here, and it's also going to let us buy some new cards. The Card Queen. Customers! Welcome to Cardinella's Card Market. Your one-stop shop for cards, and more cards. Nice to make your acquaintance, ma'am. Wow, she's card crazy. I am, you annoying loudmouth creature, you. My cards are the best you can buy, and the prices are to die for. You don't say. Captain, might be a good idea to grab a card or two if we got the funds. You never know what kind of trouble we'll be getting into at Swindler's Wharf. Aye, brass, suppose it wouldn't hurt to look. Excellent! Now then, why don't you open up that fat wallet of yours and give me and let the money sing? I love this character. I love the Card Queen. I spend a lot of my time in card shops in real life, and it's just like, I wish the staff were this passionate about them. There's some good stuff here. I think Buccaneer is one of the best early game units in the game. It does fall off in the mid game, but it is quite good. We also have the Plaid Restore 4 health to your hero. It's only good if we have taken damage already, so we're gonna chill on that. We're just gonna buy these, because these are just a direct upgrade to the previous unit. It's a 1/1/1. If we go to our deck, we can see that these are just 1/1s with no abilities. So whenever possible, it is good to just take these out and place these in, because they are just a direct, strict upgrade. I'm not going to buy any more cards because they don't interest me very much, and we're going to have to save our money for something else. But I think that's going to do it for the first episode. I hope you've all enjoyed. I wish it could have been a bit longer, but I've got to go and sort some stuff out with my partner. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the first episode. Really looking forward to doing more of this game. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and comment. But yeah, see you all around in the next one. Bye-bye.